Hey everybody, it's Benny One, and I'm back at you with another Resident Evil movie review, and today we're moving on to the fourth one, and that is Resident Evil Afterlife. It came out in 2010, so this was that era of movies where they were, the 3D thing at the movie theater was big, and every movie was forced in 3Ds down our throat. And you can tell in the movie, there's all sorts of shots where they're throwing shit and it's supposed to be the 3D thing coming at the screen. This movie and the next movie both did that a lot. The last movie dropped it, thank God. So this movie sees the return of Paul W.S. Anderson back to the director's chair, everybody, for the series. Even though he did write and produce every single movie in this franchise, he did not direct the second and third one. So he returns to direct. Mila is back as Alice, and she's the same. I mean, it's Alice. She pretty much nails this character for what it is through all these movies, to tell you the truth. So Ali Larter, she is back as Claire Redfield once again, and she has a little mind loss problems going on in this movie, because when Alice finds her, she sent her and Kmart and a few other survivors off to find Arcadia, you know, the last surviving place for humans up in Alaska. So she does find their helicopter, and she has this little robotic spider looking thing on her chest, and that's from, I'm pretty sure it's the 5th Resident Evil video game, and basically it's the way Umbrella like brainwashes and controls people. So she has to get that off of her chest, and then she doesn't really remember who she is pretty much through the whole movie. So, but she's just as good as Claire. Wentworth Miller, everybody, that's right, from Prison Break, and the guy that plays Captain Cold in the Flash TV series. He plays Chris Redfield. That's right, we get another video game character thrown into this franchise. And you know what? I think it's a pretty good representation of Chris Redfield. I think he does a good job. I will say that it sucks that he's not in the other two movies. Like, he's just one of those characters that got introduced and then they just wrote out of the movie, like, because he obviously couldn't come back to do them or didn't want to. I don't really know, to tell you the truth. So, but yeah, we got a pretty good representation of Chris Redfield. Boris Kojo plays Luther. He's a new character in this movie that Alice runs into a group of people that are stuck basically in a prison, like a tall prison building in Los Angeles, and that's where most of this movie takes place for the most part. So he's one of the people there, and he returns in the next movie too, so he's just kind of more of an important side character in the movie. And Sean Roberts, I forgot to talk about Sean Roberts in the third movie, because he was in the movie as Albert Wesker, everybody. He was just in the scenes where they were having their little meetings in the third movie, but this movie, we get to see Wesker, like traditional style Wesker from the video games, and they nailed the look of him and everything. Like, they really did. Like, Wesker actually they did a great job with his character, and he's one of the main big bad Umbrella Corporation villains in the video game franchise, and I feel like the movies adapted his character pretty spot on, to tell you the truth. I really think they did a good job with him, and he has abilities because he's been experimenting with himself with the T-virus and everything. So this movie opens up with a badass sequence because at the end of the last movie, Alice found all of her clones down in that Umbrella facility. So she basically woke all of them up, and they are going after the Umbrella facility. I think it's in China or Japan, and they are going after him, man. She, like, unleashes her clones on that place. They're going after Wesker. Awesome opening action sequence. Like, the action in this movie is crazy. It's over the top. It's not believable, but that's kind of what this franchise is the action in this franchise is just over the top, but it's a movie. I'm not gonna tear it apart for that. I didn't really like all the 3D shit because, like I said, a lot of movies back when this was going on, I felt like they were forcing it down our throats because it was popular at the time. So, but yeah, that opening sequence, awesome shit. Awesome shit. I think most of her clones die too in the beginning of this movie. But when Albert escapes, the real Alice is waiting on his little helicarrier thing with him, and she is trying to kill him, and he stabs her with a needle, syringe and needle, and he takes away her abilities. That's right. Alice got her abilities taken away from her. And there is one thing that happens. They wreck. They literally slam that helicarrier, helicopter, whatever, into the side of a mountain, and it blows up and everything. Now, I can understand that Wesker would survive because he's like superhuman like Alice was and can heal. But Alice got all of her powers taken away like minutes before this, and she was human again, and somehow she survived. Don't ask me how. Like, they don't even show how. The next time we see her, she's in a freaking old school like World War II plane flying looking for freaking Claire, like in Arcadia. That's one thing about the movie. I'm like, okay, you guys, you literally just turned Alice back into a human, and then you slammed a helicopter into the side of a mountain with her inside of it. She would have been dead. Like, dead. There's no way in hell she would have survived. So, but yeah. So then the rest of the movie takes place at this prison in Los Angeles, and they're surrounded by zombies. We get some more iterations of the zombies and the monsters from the video games in this movie. And they find out that Arcadia, it's actually a ship. Like, it's not a place in Alaska. It's a ship off the coast of Los Angeles. Like, and of course, no shocker, it's a freaking umbrella ship. And we get a pretty cool, interesting third act with Claire, Chris, and Alice going up against freaking God Wesker. Like, it was pretty good. I actually enjoyed this movie more than I remember enjoying it when the last time I watched these movies, because it's been quite a few years since I've watched a lot of these. I actually did like this movie a lot more than I thought I was going to. I liked the action. The story was pretty basic for the most part. It's once they find out that the ship is where they were really trying to go, like, it's just all about getting to that ship. Like, it's the whole point of the movie. And they do get on there, and we get this awesome end fight scene with freaking Wesker and those three. And they free everybody, because there's like over 2,000 people on that ship that were in cryostasis and everything, and had those freaking robot spider things on their chests and everything. And they free everybody. And then the end of the movie shows a bunch of umbrella helicopter carrier thingies coming after the ship, and that's where the movie ends. Like, it ends on a high note, like it really does. And for the most part, it's a pretty good, like, next step from where Extinction ended. So as far as like story and everything, the only thing is that Alice and that crash, that makes no sense to me. But yeah, I actually enjoyed the movie a lot more than I thought I did. So I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. I thought it was okay. Thought it was pretty good. So 7 out of 10 for Resident Evil Afterlife, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed that review. I thank you for watching, and I'll be catching you on the tube later because I have spoken.